Hi Year 8, today we're going to look at adding and subtracting fractions. So I have 3 questions here, each containing different types of fractions, and we're going to look at how we tackle each of these. So my first question, I have fractions that have the same denominator, which is the same bottom number, and different numerators. Now there's nothing we can do special about this, they're already in a simplified fraction form, so we're just going to add these together. When we're adding fractions, we add together the numerators, these two numbers here. So 2 plus 4 is 6. And my bottom number, my denominator, as long as it's the same here, it's going to stay the same in my answer. So if it's 5 in the question, it's going to be 5 in the answer. Some of you might notice we can turn this into a mixed number afterwards because it's top heavy. We have 6 over 5. So this is going to be the same as 1 whole part and 1/5 because it's filled up 5 times. In my second question, I have a mixed number fraction here. So the first thing I want to do is turn this mixed number fraction into an improper fraction. So pause the video, have a think about what this number is going to be if I turn it back into an improper fraction. Okay, so because we have 1 whole part, we're going to add 10 more onto the numerator. So if you said 13 over 10 as our new improper fraction, you've been right. So now we do exactly the same things with the first question. We have the same denominator and different numerators. So I'm going to take 4 away from 13 in my numerator, which is going to be 9, and my denominator is going to stay exactly the same. So my new fraction is 9 over 10. Now in my last question, my denominators on the fractions are different. I have 1 over 6 as my first fraction, and I have 5 over 18 as my second fraction. Now our number one rule for adding and subtracting fractions is that we have to have the same denominator. So if I don't already have the same denominator, I've got to make them the same. The way we do this is we're going to find the lowest common multiple between these two denominators. So I have a denominator of 6 and I have a denominator of 18. So I know the lowest common multiple between these is the first number that appears in both of their times tables. I know that in the 6 times table, 18 is in there as 6 times 3. So I'm going to make both of these fractions over 18 to start with. Now I can already see this is already 5 over 18, so this is going to stay exactly the same. To turn this one to a fraction over 18, well, I've had to multiply this denominator by 3, and we know that with equivalent fractions you have to multiply the numerator by exactly the same number. So if this has been multiplied by 3, this one has to be multiplied by 3 as well. So I'm going to have 3 over 18. Then I'm going to do exactly the same things with my previous questions. I'm going to add together my numerators, so 3 plus 5 is 8. My denominator stays the same at 18. Now have a think, can I simplify this any further? Well, I can divide both the numerator and the denominator by 2 and get 4 over 9. And I can't simplify this fraction any further because they can't be divided by the same number.